always forget to bring my marker.
Okay. Guys, here we go. First one. This is what's called the modulus, okay? The modulus signs are not brackets. To get rid of a modulus, we got to square both sides. So we end up with x minus 2 squared equals 3 squared. You're going to end up with x squared minus 4x plus 4. Bring the 3 squared out the other side. You get minus 9 equals 0. Okay. Then you get x squared minus 4x minus 5 equals 0. Okay, you're going to factorize that. And when you factorize that, what you should get is x minus 5 x plus 1 equals 0. Finally, you solve that, you get x equals 5, x equals minus 1. Many people got that? Okay, the majority, okay? Next one. The next one is square both sides again. We're going to get x squared equals square the other side. And what we get is 5x minus 4. Bring the 5x minus 4 over the other side. We're going to get x squared minus 5x plus 4 equals 0. Then we're going to get x minus 1. X minus 4 equals 0. X equals 1. X equals 4. Okay, majority of people got that as well. Next question. 72 people attended the first night of a concert. They were seated in rows, each of which contained X people. Number of rows equals 72 divided by the number of people per row. Okay? X people are, that's the first night, number of rows. The first night number of rows is 72 over X. The second night has 80 people, and it's divided by, they have rows with X plus 2 people in it. Now, if on the second night there was one less row needed than on the first night, calculate the number of rows needed on each night. Okay, second night is smaller than the first night. Second night, number of rows in the second night is a smaller number than number of rows in the first night. This means that the first night, number of rows recorded in the first night minus the number of rows recorded on the second night equals 1. Next you're going to do your 3 lines. 1, 2, 3. And what you're going to get is 72x plus 144 minus 80x all over. The two of them multiply by each other, which is going to be x squared plus 2x. All of this equals 1. Tidy the top and cross multiply. We're going to get x squared plus 2x on the right, and on the left we're going to get minus 8x plus 144. Now we're going to get a quadratic equation. Move the 144 and the 8x over the other side. We're going to get 0 equals x squared plus 10x minus 144. Now, I've seen this enough to know what the factors are. 8 and 18. X squared plus 10x minus 144 equals 0. This is a short quadratic equation. X in the first, x in the second. Minus plus 18 minus 8 equals 0. X equals minus 18, or x equals 8. 8 is the correct answer because it can't be a negative number. Okay, how many people got that one now?
I got the answer.
The fourth one. Okay, number 4. Express the question, just this question here, obviously edited that out, in the form x plus b squared plus c. Hence or otherwise find the value of x that gives a minimum value for each expression, find that minimum. Half the second value and you get x plus 6 squared. Multiply it out, we get x squared plus 12x plus 36. The x squared is right, the 12x is right, but the 36 is wrong. Put a 33 at the end to fix the problem. Then turn this back into x plus 6 squared. So you're going to get x plus 6 squared minus 33. That gets you 10 out of 15 marks. Okay? The next part was find the value of x that gives a minimum value. Minimum value is when this turns into 0 squared. So this means that x plus 6 must equal 0. Therefore x has to be equal to minus 6. Therefore, if that's the value of x for the minimum value, find the minimum value. Minimum value is going to be minus 33, because 0 squared minus 33 is minus 33. Any questions? Okay guys, express each of the following questions in questions 16 to 19 in the form. Now guys, a good idea for your answer, and not many people did this, would be put f of x equals whatever your answer is going to be. You should really do that. Okay? Bit lenient on the marks there. You really need to present it exactly as they want it. Now, beginning, what you're going to see is there's two roots. X equals minus 4, x equals 2. This means x minus 2 is a factor and x plus 4 is a factor. This means that you multiply x plus 4 by x minus 2, and what we get is x squared plus 4x minus 2x minus 8. Then we're going to get x squared plus 2x minus 8. Ideally, f of x equals this. There's no equals 0. This is your graph. Notice the way it's presented at the top. There's no equals 0 at the end. They just want you to find out what was the equation. Okay? Now, if you were to put that into your calculator, some people did, okay, you'll find that it'll map out the same thing. Now guys, the next one, unlike the previous one, the next one is an n-shaped graph. So, what happens here guys is the following, okay? We get 2 happens twice. It's a repeated root. You have x equals minus 2 and x equals minus 2. This makes it x plus 2 and x plus 2.
X plus 2. X equals x plus.
Oh, sorry, you're right. Excuse me. X equals plus 2, and therefore it's x minus 2, x minus 2. Okay, thank you. Now, guys, x minus 2, x minus 2. You're going to multiply x minus 2 by x minus 2, and what you get is x squared. You're going to get x squared minus 4x plus 4. Now, this is where most people made a mistake. The graph you just after putting down there is this one. You actually just put down this one here. This is the one you wrote down. You wrote down the black one, not the red one. To get the red one, you multiply by minus 1. That in effect mirror images the graph and turns it into, from the black one into the red one. So what you're doing here is you're just going to say it's minus x squared. Simon? Minus x squared plus 4x minus 4. And that's what f of x is equal to. One person, Rory there, is the one to remember that one. Well done, right? Now, okay, next one. Question 7. Factorize x squared plus x minus 6. It's going to be x plus 3 x minus 2. It doesn't say solve. If it says solve, what would I do? It'll have an equals 0, and I'll say my answers are x equals minus 3, x equals minus 2. That means you've gone too far. Okay, let p of x be px cubed minus 20x plus q, where p and q are constants. Given that x squared plus x minus 6 is a factor of fx, find the values of p and the values of q. I'm going to show you 2 ways of doing this. The first way is to do long division. Long division, we need to know it anyway. So, although you can get around this question by doing another method, you still need to know long division, so you might as well get used to it. Okay? We can divide this into px cubed plus x squared minus 20x plus q. Everybody in the class, without exceptions, needs work done on this. Okay. Now, what we're doing next is px, x cubed, x squared into px cubed goes px times. You're going to get px cubed, you're going to get px squared, and then you're going to get minus 6px. Remember to change the signs. Minus, minus, plus. Now here's the main problem. This section here, it's x squared minus px squared. Factorize out the x squared. It's going to be 1 minus p x squared. That's what I needed you to do in the test, okay? A lot of you didn't do that, okay? So it's going to be 1 minus p x squared. Then the other one is going to be 6px minus 20x, which is the same thing as 6p minus 20x. Now there's no need to take out anything else, any other numbers. You could take out 2 out of that as well. There's actually no need. Alright, so it's going to be 6p minus 20x, and then we bring down the cube. Has anybody got any questions thus far? Next part is, what we can do here is we can say, we're going to look at 1 minus p x squared. How much times does x squared go into 1 minus p x squared?
1 minus p.
It goes in 1 minus p times. So plus 1 minus p. Multiply everything by 1 minus p. That's going to be 1 minus p x squared. 1 minus p by x is going to be 1 minus p times x. And then finally 1 minus p times minus 6. And that's a hard one. So we're going to get minus 6 plus 6p. Okay, so I'm just going to use that in brackets. Minus 6 plus 6p. Now here's the part, a lot of people could get that far, but what happens after that is they have to change the signs, and it's you got to do it really slowly so you don't make a mistake. Minus, this turns into a minus, and the remainders are 0. So this means that 6p minus 20 minus 1 minus p equals 0. This red box here is what I'm working off at the moment. Okay? And what I'm going to get is 6p minus 20 minus 1 minus p equals 0. What I'm next going to get is 7p, that's minus 21, bring it over to your side, equals plus 21. P will equal 3.
Is it not plus p?
Yeah, you're right. Sorry guys, it is actually a plus p, but I treat it as a plus p anyway. 6p plus p is 7p. Good spot. Is that it? Okay, next one. Q. Lads, we have to change this to a minus as well. So it's going to be Q minus 6 plus 6p all equals 0. This is me working this section here. Okay? Then what we're going to do is Q minus 6 minus 6p equals 0. Plus 6p minus 6p equals 0. Now what we're going to do is we're going to change p into 3. So we're going to get Q plus 6 minus 6 times 3 is minus 18 equals 0. Q, that's going to be minus 12, therefore Q equals plus 12. Okay? There's another method, but this method isn't always available to you. This method works for 2 roots, but won't work for repeated roots. Okay, I'll show you now. Ready for another way of doing it?
Yes.
Okay. Now, another way of doing it would be this, and once again, as I mentioned, we came across a question in the book that couldn't be done using this method, but if it's open to you, there's no reason why you can't do it. What you do is you say, well, if x plus 3 is a factor, then x equals minus 3 is a root, and so is x equals 2. That means that f of minus 3 must equal 0. It has to equal 0. Therefore, replace all x's with minus 3's. P minus 3 cubed plus minus 3 squared minus 20 times minus 3 plus q. We're going to get minus 27p, all equals 0, minus 27p plus 9 plus 60 plus q equals 0. Minus 27p plus q equals minus 69. That is one equation of a simultaneous equation. The next one is f of 2. Replace all x's with 2's. P times 2 cubed plus 2 squared minus 20 times 2 plus q equals 0. We're going to get 8p plus 4 minus 40 plus q equals 0. 8p plus q, that's minus 36. When you bring our other side equal plus 36. There are your two simultaneous equations. Do a simultaneous equation and you get the correct answer, yeah? This is like the reverse for the last question, okay? If we know the roots, we then know the factors. And if we know two factors, we can multiply these two factors by each other. And when we multiply them by each other, we're going to get x squared plus px minus p squared. The px is cancelled. You're going to get x squared plus 0x. Why am I putting in the 0x? I'm going to be dividing it in a second. It will line up nicely. Then, got to do then is, it's all going to divide into ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d. Okay? Ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is the following is ax. So we're going to get ax cubed plus 0x squared. Ax by p is minus p squared x. I always tend to do it in alphabetical order. Okay, apart from the x, because the x is different, it's a variable, okay, x is everything to this equation. Change the signs, minus, and plus. We're going to get bx squared, brackets, factorize this, what do we get? C plus ap squared x. Then bring down the d. Now, what happens next time is we're going to get b times this time. So we're going to get bx squared plus 0x minus bp squared. Okay. Now, what we're going to get here is going to take them away. And what's going to happen is it's going to be minus, and plus. We're going to get two equations. This equation here is going to be c plus ap squared equals 0, because it has to turn to 0. The other equation, which is this one here, is going to turn into d plus bp squared equals 0. We look at what you're proving. I want to prove that BC equals AD. So what I'm going to do is, in BC equals AD, there's only one letter missing. What's the letter missing? P. This is a clear indication that in both your equations you get P on its own, and then you use the two equations against each other. So I'll show you what I mean there. Get P squared on its own. Bring over C. AP squared equals minus C. Bring down the A. P squared equals minus C over A. There's a P squared in this one. So what we do is the same thing. Bring the D over to your side. BP squared equals minus D. Another one we can do here is bring down the B, and we get P squared equals minus D over B. Cross multiply, minus C over A equals minus D over B. The minuses on both sides cancel. We get BC equals AD. Another way of doing this question would be to just plug in the roots. So x equals P, x equals minus P. Now what happens is, what we're going to do is anywhere, we're going to say f of P equals 0. And this is f of x here, okay? So f of p equals 0. Replace all x's with p's, and we get ap cubed plus bp squared plus cp plus d equals 0. Okay? Then we're going to do f of minus p equals 0. And f of minus p equals 0 is more or less the same thing, except it's a times minus p cubed, b times minus p squared, c times minus p plus d equals 0. Now, when you cube a negative number, you get a negative number, minus ap cubed. When you square a negative number, you get a positive number. This is minus cp plus d equals 0. We have two different equations, equation A and equation B. Now, what we can do with A and B, one on top of the other, what we can do is we can add them down. We can add them downwards, okay? And look what happens when we add them downwards. We're going to get 2 bp squared. The cp's cancel, don't they? And the ap's cancel, don't they? Yeah? They both cancel. Okay? Plus 2d equals 0. What we get is 2 bp squared equals minus 2d. The 2's will cancel. And we get p squared equals minus d over b. That's one equation we got last time, isn't it? How do you get the other one?
Sub in the other. Multiply by minus 1.
Okay. This time we added them together. Okay? We added them together and we got this equation here. This time, if I multiply the top one by minus 1, I'm going to get plus ap squared. I'm going to get minus bp squared plus cp minus d. Now what happens this time? I get 2 ap cubed. Shh. These cancel and these cancel. Plus 2cp equals 0. I'm going to get 2ap cubed equals minus 2cp. Now what happens to the p on the right? It cancels and this becomes a square. The 2's will cancel and p squared will be the same thing. It will be minus c over a. And it's the exact same ending as last time. Okay? And we're going to get AD equals BC. Same thing.